Hey guys, Philosopher here, and today I'm talking about Misty Knight and the Heroes for Hire team. As you probably know from my last video, I ended up on Unlock Day not testing out Misty Knight simply because her ult is broken. It does not apply ability block and disrupted outside of war defense, but it is applying it in war defense. People have verified that it's working in war defense. So apparently the devs are going to fix that. They claim that they are working on it. But in the meantime, I want to talk to you about how this team works, showcase the full team now that we have Misty. Why don't I just take it right into 8.3? By the way, I have the whole team's gear tier 15, ISO 5. You could see the ISO classes I use. We got Striker on Colleen, Skirmisher on Misty. We got Healer on Luke Cage and Iron Fist. Maybe when we get to Blue ISO, he could become a Fortifier, but right now there's just Fortifier is not very good. So Blue Cage is a healer. I have, a lot of T4s in this team. I have T4L on Colleen, Luke Cage passive, Iron Fist passive. I think the ult's a nice to have. I got 3 of the 4 on Misty Knight. The ult is also nice to have. The special's just nice to have. It's not essential. And that's just, by the way, my preliminary thoughts. I have not used the team, and frankly, this team shines on war defense. I'm not so sure it's good elsewhere. I tried out the team, but I think Blitz is a good one because we could take our time and see how the team does. An RTA facing the Dad Bros or something like that. Let's face it, this team is just not good enough to stand against the Dad Bros, Silver Surfer, Kestrel, and all the overpowered combos. So, you're obviously going to want to have Luke Cage on one side. And then the positioning of the other three is really going to depend on who your fifth is. So I'll showcase some different fifths here, and we'll try them out at 8.3. So, first of all, they're all going to be very hard to kill in Alliance War because of this charged mechanic that they have. So essentially, the way this works is that their passives, if you go to the passive of any of these 4 characters, they start initially when they spawn with 2 charges. And then whenever any one of them goes below 50% health, they heal up to maximum. They clear all their negative effects. They get offense up for 2 turns. They get deflect. They get, I think, 2 deflect. They get death proof. And, there you go. And they cannot be, they revive if they die. And so, for that reason, we're seeing some amazing results in Alliance War. This gives you a sense of this is one team. They had Doc Ock as their fifth. And literally, you just have one team getting defense win after defense win, right? Where they're, Black Order on a punch down loses, Symbiotes on a punch down loses, super team of Phoenix, Zemo, Black Bolt, Surfer, and Hella loses. That's another Black Order, another Symbiotes. Super team with the Dad Bros, Kestrel, and Black Bolt loses. They took the loss because they got Doc Ock down, right? So, there are teams out there that are beating this team. Some even one shots, but it's generally using characters like Kestrel and Black Bolt to make sure that they can't revive. But you have to do it on a one shot from 51% to 0. In other words, if they're under 50%, they'll go to 100. So you've got to take them from 51% all the way down. And then usually those teams, there's another character that's popular, Silver Surfer, because he clears the charges on one of them. We're not going to have any of those mechanics outside of war defense. And you're never going to see this team perform in Blitz or in RTA or in Raids or anything else or DD4 the way it performs in war defense. So I think that this team is actually pretty bad outside of war defense. We'll check it out with different options. So let's just say you run Ghost here. I think Ghost is actually a reasonable option because she has her own self-sustain, because you're not going to get a lot of sustain from the rest of this team going to her. And she does some damage, and I think if there's anything, this team's a little light on damage. Colleen really is the sole damager on the team. All right, defenders is too easy. Uncanny or Asgardian. So let's try them against Uncanny. Um, they should be able to out-sustain um, Uncanny, out-sustain Uncanny. They should be able to have no problem with this, even without their war defense bonuses. But let's check it out. You'll see this is essentially a fully decked out team. We could try another battle after this one, see if we can come up with something a little bit tougher. But this is an 8.3, so it's a significant punch up. All right, so let's check it out. All right. All right, so there she goes. One thing you can already tell here, this is not a particularly fast team, right? So here, so now let's do, so you've got some options here with Colleen. I think that this is usually what you're going to do, would want to do with this team if you're controlling it as a human being. Heal block for 2 turns on all enemies and a lot of damage. Although it's not as impressive. That's a 5 red, 6 yellow Misty. All right, so here's Dark Phoenix. Now, the Iron Fist passive does... Wow, look at that, huh? So the Iron Fist passive does give defense up for 2 turns when a character falls below 10%. You notice Ghost just dies. Ghost doesn't get any of the bonuses from the team. So and really, that's why people use characters, whether it's Ghost or Doc Ock or some people want to use Miss Marvel or Jessica Jones or Captain Marvel. They're trying to use survivable characters that have their own sustain. So this now clears negative effect from the entire team and heals them up. So that's huge. Now, this here is supposed to put ability block at disrupted. It doesn't work, but it does clear positive effects. And it actually did that here against this Colossus, which is pretty amazing. All right, we got a lot of negative effects on Iron Fist. Also, remember, this team is going to be a lot beefier in war, and they're going to start with a lot of bonus turn meters in war defense. For example, Luke Cage is going to get 100% turn meter at start, and he's going to do this. Okay, they're going to spawn like this, which is really something. All right, so now on Dark Phoenix, this is where all your damage comes up. This is why you do the T4s, by the way, is the bleeds get a higher percentage when there's a T4. That's why you do it. So she should die from those bleeds, I would think. Okay. Look at that. And she did. Wow. And there you go. So Cyclops was not enough. Now, obviously, this is a power creep team. Uncanny's not that good anymore. I know some content creators disagree, but I think it's pretty obvious that they're on their down slow. But it just goes to show you, I think at this point, we can practically auto here and we'll be fine because, let's face it, yeah, I think let's just put this on auto and we got this done. So, is the team decent? Yeah. This is, of course, human controlled versus AI. But I think, even on auto, this team probably could beat a team like Uncanny. But let's see if we can get a tougher challenge for this team. I think, obviously this was a huge punch up because it's 8.3. So there is that. All right, let's see here. Sinister Six without Doc Ock. All right, let's sim a battle here just to see if we can get some different opponents. Okay. All right, now let's go and do Heroes for Hire. And let's try them with Doc Ock and see what that does. Let's see if they do a little better. So with this one, I would probably put whatever characters you think are, more uh, have survivability issues. You'll probably put next to Doc Ock because he gives deflects to the folks next to him. Now, once again, Doc Ock's another character who gets a lot of bonuses in war. He's not getting any of those here. But let's see if we can come up with something here. Let's see. We got symbiotes. That could be interesting. That's a tougher challenge. Let's try symbiotes. All right, let's do that and see if that works. One thing that people are, suggesting, I know a lot of times you're tempted to want to put your sustained characters here, like Minerva, Jessica Jones, Squirrel Girl. I would really caution against that. What Heroes for Hire has in spades is sustain and healing and cleansing and all that. They self cleanse and they have cleanse from Iron Fist, and they have the healing and whatever. And this is all in war. Now, to me, you want your fifth character to have sustain for themselves, but I think if anything, they need more damage, not more healing. Okay, here's Misty Knight, goes down pretty easily. And this, of course, is a bad matchup because we've got that summon. All right, so now we've got the heal block. All right, well, that's decent at least. I should have been aiming here. All right, we can cleanse at least. All right, now I think we're going to stun. Okay, the stun got resisted. We did get an ability block on Scream. All right. I think the taunt here is better, although obviously that's not what's going to happen in war defense. But obviously this team's going to play very differently in war defense. I figured the taunt would just mean that they wouldn't be targeting the summon. So there you go. The flip is pretty decisive. I do think, he is quite an interesting choice because it means that if you have Doc Ock, then they have kind of something else to worry about with that flip. Okay, now Anti-Venom's down. It's looking reasonably good. Let's take down Scream if we can. What? The ability block worked! Oh, maybe they fixed it. So you're telling me Scopely did fix their bug within a day? This is the first time that there's been a bug that hasn't benefited the player base that they fixed in a day. Well, I'll give them that. I guess I should make a video every time there's a big bug in this game. Huh. Well, that's a pleasant surprise. So look here, it looks like they could beat the symbiotes on a punch-up. So I guess they're not all that bad. You can see by the way that the sustain is all there. This is a team that essentially has the sustain that it needs. The issue is really, does it have enough damage? It really looks like they do. And in Alliance War, they're going to have even more because you're going to have Colleen getting an assist essentially every time. This team looks pretty decent. So there you go. There's Doc Ock. There are a lot of other choices here. Like I said, I mean, I've seen everything. From Miss Marvel is a choice people are considering. Here we can walk through it. I know there's some people in a defense down room are doing Kestrel. Some people are doing Doom. I know a Diamond Alliance is doing Doom. Silver Surfer, although I think he's probably best used to counter Heroes for Hire. Certainly Zemo would screw up the enemy's plans. You could throw in Emma Frost. When I look through this list, Minerva. Somebody in my stream chat has used Minerva and gotten a lot of defense wins in the other day. You could throw in Phoenix, and that would be interesting, at least in the first attack. That would be a bit of a problem for the other team. Ghost Rider's a possibility. Shuri's a possibility, although, like I said, there's a lot of sustain. Jessica Jones, obviously, we've already discussed. Killmonger. There's a lot of possible choices that you could Captain Marvel that you could throw in there. You could have Rhino even in there as an anti-blind if you wanted, if you were concerned about that for some reason. Stun on Iron Fist and a blind or something like that. So I think that there's a lot of possible choices. The team is looking very good. It's looking as advertised in Alliance War. And really, the reason that they're looking so good in Alliance War is due to the passives on the team, which are really broken. Some of the longest passives we ever seen in the game. Each one has this. If the full team is there and health is full and not charged, they get 2 charges. And then when they're charged, they always revive on death. And then they go, and if they go below 50% health, you lose one. Anytime they go below 50% health, they heal up to 100%, clear all negative effects, and then get offense up for 2 tunes, 2 deflect, and death proof. That's amazing. And you really, if you kill them, is going to have to be either after they've lost their charges, or you got to use a Black Bolt or a Kestrel ult to make sure that they don't revive. So definitely interesting. A lot going on with this team. Going to transform Alliance War. Already starting to transform Alliance War. I think this is going to result in many more defense wins and longer Alliance Wars right now. Totally transforming the meta. It's one of the reasons why I have not updated the Alliance War tier list. Big changes underway. All right, guys, if you like this video, smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, check out our Discord. It is linked below, and we have lots of great Alliance War discussions there. And, of course, also check out my Twitch stream. That is linked below as well.